So, Jonesy, we've spoke about it countless times on the We Are West Ham podcast, our attitude towards transfers. Mine in particular, to be fair, I'm sort of tiring you with the same coloured brush there, which is probably a little bit unreasonable. My outlook on transfers is tell me once it's done. Once the player holds up the shirt, then brilliant. Then I'll go and find out loads about him. And I know that's not true for loads of people, loads of football fans, and not just West Ham fans across the world and the country, whatever. I just can't really get into it. Like this month, I really want West Ham to sign some players. Okay,
well, we have to.
We need a striker. We need a central defender. I don't know. We probably need a left back. I think, as much as I hate to admit that King Arthur might just not be up to it anymore. We probably need a central midfielder as well. We need loads of players, but particularly a striker, I think, is the most important, and a centre half. We're all pretty much agreed on that, I think. Now, I haven't really got too much idea of who, but I am aware that West Ham are interested in Luca Dina. Now, I know that lots of clubs are interested in him. West Ham have declared an interest. It looks like it might be somewhat of a battle. And if you're going head to head, certainly Chelsea are involved in that situation as well. It looks like Newcastle are considering bids, but obviously they're considering bids for everyone, it seems, at the moment. But I know that West Ham are interested, or at least looking at the feasibility of that deal. We're also said to be in for a striker. There's money there put aside for a striker, and perhaps one more signing if the manager sees fit. Is the as far as I understand the situation to be at the club now. As far as potential players for those positions outside of Dina, can you tell us anything, Jonesy? Have you got a different stance, outlook, or understanding on West Ham's situation for the January transfer window?
Well, I've been keeping abreast of it a little bit more than I would do, because and this is going to be a shameless plug, mate, but I've recently launched a new website called West Ham 365.
Nice.
And it's predominantly a content aggregator for content, podcasts, YouTube videos, all related to West Ham. But on social media and on a website, eventually there's going to be a lot of sort of up-to-date news, particularly the transfer window. So if anyone wants to check out the Instagram page, it's at West Ham 365. Now, every morning I post up a number of graphics related to the news. So it might be quotes, it might be transfer rumours, stats, stuff like that. And so I've been on it every morning, having a little look, checking out the old transfer mill, seeing what's going on. The big one at the moment is Jesse Lingard. Looks like there could be a deal to be done there. He looks like he wants to leave before he runs his contract down. And obviously West Ham want him. Why wouldn't we? And obviously he'd want to come back if we're the only club interested. So that looks like it could be a deal that probably will happen. One bit of alarming news I saw was David Moyes apparently it still isn't decided on his transfer targets, apart from Jesse Lingard, that is. He's a little bit undecided. He hasn't actually nailed down his concrete targets, which...
Not much time, really, have we?
Yeah, it's like, well, you read that story 6 days into the transfer window and you've got 24 days left. He's like, oh, come on, Dave, better get a move on, mate. But it's known that he wants Jesse Lingard. He wants a striker. He wants a left-footed centre half and potentially left back, cover for left backs. So another striker we're interested in is Arthur Cabral at FC Basel. Absolute goal machine over in Switzerland. 27 goals in 31 first-team appearances this season. Apparently, we're interested in him. They only want 12.5 million quid for him. So it sounds like it could be a bit of a snip. Gabriel Barbosa, Championship manager.
Now,
legend.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it, because some reports are saying that he's rejected us in the past, and Flamengo have rejected a loan bid for him. It's now coming out that he actually wants to sign for us now, but Flamengo don't want to let him go. I'd love to see him at West Ham. Would love to see him at West Ham, but I just wonder whether is he a David Moyes type player? I don't know. Does he fit in at West Ham under David Moyes?
Now, I do a little bit of an insight on this. So, a friend of mine broke the story last summer, I believe it was, around the summertime. He actually interviewed Gabigol, and he spoke about lots of different things, and he spoke about having enjoyed how West Ham played last season.
Yeah.
Understandable. He's got two eyes in his head. Obviously, he enjoyed the way West Ham played last season. Who didn't? And he spoke to him about that. He was very complimentary. It feels like he wants to move back to Europe. He's playing for Flamengo at the moment. Now, I don't know if you are aware of him, Jonesy. I'm sure you will be. But anyone listening who's aware of Tim Vickery, who's a South American football expert, a journalist who lives in Brazil. So he's definitely based over there. He's across lots of things. He writes columns for national newspapers. He's on Talk Sport fairly often. He's the man in the know for all things South American football. He's great to listen to, and a really nice bloke too. If you listen to him, I heard him speaking interestingly on the radio the other day, Jonesy. Exactly what you said there about him being a David Moyes player. First of all, he's 25 already. He's tried it in Europe already. He was at Inter Milan and one other side, I can't remember. Inter Milan didn't really work out for him. And he was quite young then, granted. So he went back to Brazil with Flamengo. He's done brilliantly for them there. Won the Copa Libertadores with them last year, I believe it was. He's doing really well. And he's just recently got a run in the Brazil squad. And he didn't look, and again, I'm sort of parrot-fashioning what Tim Vickery said here. Do go check him out if you want a little bit more detailed content. But he's effectively said that he didn't look like a Brazil striker, like an international standard striker. He said he often throws strops. He likes being the big fish in the small pond. Not that Flamengo are a small pond, but you know what I mean in terms of like footballing quality. And he said he likes being the king of the castle. He throws strops when he gets subbed off, etc., etc. He's one of those sorts of players. Is that really a David Moyes fit? No, it is not. No, it is not. Is that what David Moyes has been trying to build at West Ham? No, it is not. Now, I tweeted from the podcast account, actually, when that interview went out. I'll retweet it again, actually, shortly in case anyone wants to see it. That I'd love to see him at the club. But that was last summer, before I knew a little bit more about him. And it smells. As much as I've been banging the drum for another striker, and frankly, mate, if it was him or no one, yeah, I would take him. Actually, I genuinely would.
So I wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Happy New Year from our friends over at Manscaped. It's that time of the year when we all commit to changing something in our lives for the better. So why not turn to Manscaped to ensure your grooming is on point and the best it can be throughout 2022. As New Year's resolutions go, pledging your commitment to your male grooming routine is the least you can do. And Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to ensure you don't drop the ball early on and remain consistent in keeping things neat and tidy all year round. And to help you get off to the perfect start, you can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code WeAreWestHam. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code WeAreWestHam.
Yep, the Manscaped Performance Package has everything to boost your below-the-waist grooming game, from the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology that reduces cuts and nicks, the Crop Preserver, which is a spray that protects against chafing, and the Crop Reviver, which would ensure things down there remain fresh at all times. To top it all off, you even get a shed travel bag so you can carry all of your precious Manscaped products in style everywhere you go. Will, have you got any grooming-related New Year's resolutions knocking about?
Well, mate, as you know, we got our hands on the weed whackers earlier this year, and whilst I thought I was a bit too young for trimming nose hair, I had noticed a couple of rogue ones creeping out the nearer I got to 30. So yeah, that's my resolution this year: regular use on the weed whacker, and make sure those nose hairs are in check and there's no rogue ones creeping out for everyone to see.
Fair. Mine is just to be a bit more on top of it. I have the same New Year's resolution every year, which is just to be better at everything. And everything in that bracket, everything is maybe a little bit of fitness, work, parenting now. And now I've got another one, which is grooming. So I'm going to be better at grooming, self-grooming, below and above the waist. And the nose hairs definitely need to be done a little bit more regularly than they have been. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, mate.
Glad to hear
100%.
it.
So to get your hands on the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 and to see all the other top quality male grooming products they have available this new year, head over to manscaped.com today. And remember, get 20% off and free shipping with the code WeAreWestHam. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code WeAreWestHam at manscaped.com. Have no regrets this year with our friends at Manscaped. Now, like you, there was a time when I'd love to see him in claret and blue. And if David Moyes wasn't the manager now, I probably would still want him at the club. But I think what David Moyes has built at the club at the moment in terms of work ethic, harmony in the dressing room, they're all pals, they all work for each other. He's worked so hard to get the squad and the football club into the state that it's in now. And the good health that it's in now, both on and off the pitch. Why would you bring someone in that could potentially completely undo all of that? Personally, I would rather, if it's him or no one, I would go no one, because at least then all that hard work isn't undone just for the sake of a gamble and for the sake of a player coming and playing a backup. It means having to go the rest of the season without a backup striker. Yeah, but we've done that for the last almost 18 months. 12 to 18 months. Be no Bowen can play up front if he has to. I'd rather not. If there's the potential of Gabigol coming in and throwing a strop if he gets benched, or after two or three games he hasn't got off the bench like Alex Crowe hasn't done because Michail Antonio is banging him in. Is he going to throw a strop in training? No, I don't know. Just little stories like that about his temperament and his personality makes me wonder whether I think I'd prefer to go another 6 months without a backup striker, which is a shame because I would have loved to see them in claret and blue, but yeah, not now.
I mean, I hope that's not the conversation we need to have. Really, I sort of threw that out there as a hypothetical. I hope that's not the case. That it's him or no one.
Of course, yeah, of course,
yeah. So I remember at the time thinking he's got all the ingredients to become a proper cult hero, but I also think, mate, and Vickery compared him to Felipe Anderson. So as soon as he done that, I'm like, nah, don't get him anywhere near our club. And he actually said he's Felipe Anderson plus. So yeah, after I've heard that, he said he's very left-footed, but mainly the sort of attitude side of it. So the more I think about it, no. And Josie, I just can't see that David Moyes he's not going to entertain that, is he, ultimately?
Oh, definitely not. No, it's just even before you learn of his personality and his temperament, he still doesn't scream David Moyes signing, does he? He's
no, not even a little bit. No.
David Moyes doesn't go for big name signings, and he would be a big name signing. That's not his style at all. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a no from me.
Yeah, it's a no from me as well. You got anything else for us then, Jonesy?
Nothing that fresh. I did see a funny one. I did cover it on the Instagram page that I spoke about, but apparently we're among a number of big elite European clubs looking at Naby Keita for the summer. Happily, it looks like we're not going to sign Adama Traore, thank God. A weird one is apparently we're interested in Anwar El Ghazi at Villa, which I find very bizarre.
I would have. I mean, I wouldn't have him, but I think he's actually all right.
He's not a bad player.
Yeah, proper underrated.
I'd have him at West Ham. He's not. He does well for them, but he hasn't played. I don't think Steven Gerrard's a big fan. They've got about 900 wingers, so he's trying to get a few off the books. So he's one we're looking at. caleta-car still being linked at the back. Lloyd Kelly at Bournemouth, which screams David Moyes. That's a David Moyes signing. Lloyd Kelly at Bournemouth. Potentially. But yeah, other than that, it's the usual names. Divock Origi keeps popping up. Sven
Yeah.
Botman, Jonathan David's another interesting one as well. The little forward. Apparently he's actually quite keen on coming as well, which is interesting. But he'd be a very good signing.
Well, one other transfer, Jonesy, and just to wrap it up, is Ben Campbell, former head of media at West Ham United, departed the club just past the new year. What a job that is for a man, by the way. It was just worth saying certainly from me, from you as well, Jonesy, I'm sure. Just good luck to Ben. Thanks for everything he's done in his time at the club. That job, mate, I can't think of many tougher jobs. He was there for, I think, 4 to 6 years, something like that. He was there for all the rough times, all the protests, all that sort of thing. And I had a few crosswords with him at times. Other times he was really helpful. I remember him taking the time out right at the beginning, a few years ago now, right at the beginning of sort of my time of getting to know him. Took the time out, went and sat and had a coffee with me. Didn't have to do it completely off of his, like, I asked him and took time out of his own day to have a coffee with me, speak to me about a few bits, help me out with some stuff. And yeah, so I just wanted to, that's a transfer out of the club. West Ham in talks, as far as I understand, about a new head of media. I've got someone standing in at the moment, the existing member of the team. But yeah, good luck to Ben. I believe, actually, no, I don't know if that's public knowledge or not, but he's got another high profile job, very challenging indeed. But yeah, good luck and thanks to Ben Campbell, former head of media at West Ham. Jonesy, that's it. I think we did all right there for a transfer section, you know.
Yeah, nice and brief. There was plenty more where that came from. Now we've still got about 3 weeks left of this, so
Yeah.
we'll do a very brief one every week, I think, just to keep people
Until we sign someone, then we'll talk for ages about them.
Yeah, we'll wax lyrical about them unless it's a Dama Traore.
Or
So
Amar El Ghazi.
Yeah, or Gabigol.
Oh yeah, exactly. There you go, mate. There you go. Right, that's transfer news done.